should you tell someone if they're being cheated on?
Yeah, definitely.
1,000%?
Yeah, yes, 1,000%. Yeah, just because otherwise it's like, what kind of friend are you? Sure. Well, I think you need hard evidence. You know what I mean? I think if because I have been in a situation where I had an inkling with a friend, but it was like, I can't say anything unless I really have hard evidence. Otherwise, I might be spooking you for no reason and breaking trust for no reason. So you need to be in the room when they're exchanging fluids. You need to be there.
That much, really?
No, but you need real, you see them kissing, you see them holding hands. You need to see something where you go, oh, I have definitive proof that they're cheating. And if I withhold this information from my friend, I'm being a bad friend, because they need to know. You might tell them and they might go, yeah, that's our relationship. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, nowadays, yeah.
Yeah, we live in Bushwick.
Or back in the day, you were in an open thing.
Sure.
So,
Oh, God.
It's been around more
very
than we
much
thought.
Against my will. That was a nightmare.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Shooters Gotta Shoot. I am your host, Erica Spera, and this week I have a dear friend on the pod, Anthony DeVito. Very, very excited to have him on, finally, to the show. Before we get started, there's a few things you can do to help us out. You could subscribe to our YouTube channel, you could tell a friend, or you could join our Patreon, which is patreon.com/shootersgottashoot for extra episodes and exclusive behind the scenes. So without further ado, my guest coming on to the show. You might have seen him on Comedy Central or heard him on This American Life. He recently released a YouTube special called Brain Noise. Everybody, please get very excited for the very funny Anthony DeVito.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing. Welcome to the show.
Did you ever think about doing basketballs for merch? Did you ever think about that?
No, I mean, I guess I could. You want a custom Shooters Gotta Shoot ball?
Yeah, maybe like a fuzzy basketball.
Yeah, I feel like, weirdly, the guests would like that more than the fans.
Oh, I would get one when I would walk away.
Yeah, it'd give you a nice outdoor basketball.
I think your fans would love some nice regulation-size basketballs. Wow, Erica.
It's a hell of an item to ship. It's not easy.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I appreciate you coming on so much.
Yeah, of course.
Very excited to have you.
Yeah.
You have truly lived a life. Can I say that?
Oh, yeah.
Not only are you one of my favorite comics, one of my favorite people
It's very
to hang
nice
out with.
of you.
A good man here, for a man's opinion. I have to ask you up top.
Sure.
I've heard you do jokes about this, and we talked about this, of you might have the worst cheating story I've ever heard in my life. Correct me if I'm wrong, it ends with you moving to Hawaii?
Yeah, me and Holly Berry, the worst cheating stories in America. Yeah, no, I've moved, yes.
All right, so for the fans that don't know, what happened? What is your big cheating story that
For sure. So I started dating a girl in college. We dated for 3 years. And, in my head, I was like, this is the one. This will be my wife. It's over for me, in a good way. So then,
Can I pause real quick?
Please ask.
Is this your first girlfriend ever?
This is my first girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
All right, all in. Out
well,
the
I
jump.
finally the thing. I'm a very weird man. In an endearing way, but I'm a very strange guy, Not harmful, just off, I would describe myself as someone recently struck by lightning. That's my personality. So I found a girl who was as off as me. Do you know what I mean? And
the right weird.
Yeah, the right kind of weird. And I think when you're going through life, I grew up in North Jersey. There weren't a lot of women who were like me, you know what I mean? I was bullied by a lot of women in high school, and I was an athlete.
By women?
Yeah.
Bullied by women?
I remember Kelly Finnemore flicked my ears in the hallway.
Really?
I was so mad. Nobody even knew I was on the basketball team. Yeah, I was quite an athlete. Anyways.
I had status, and I got bullied.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I was one of the more headier point guards in Essex County, I'll have you know. So I had no luck in high school with women. I mean, I'll tell you this story too. I mean, this, look.
Tell us all the stories.
I'll tell you. All right.
We're here for 'em.
So when my first kiss, and this was a doozy. So my first kiss was in Wildwood. It was at a teen club.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Wait, what was the teen club called? I think I've been there.
I can't for the life of me think of the name of it.
I'm a Jersey Shore gal
What
myself.
are you? Yeah, no,
and
I know.
I remember there was teen night. It would be on like a Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yes.
And so our one like week family vacation, we got to go. And I remember seeing Guido's for the first time because I grew up upstate New York.
Right.
I remember coming home. My mom was like, "How's teen night?" I was like, "All the guys just dance with each other. In a circle or doing some foot thing. They got these like white headbands.
It's like old Rome.
Yeah, it's
teen
very
night.
odd. Very odd.
It's like the 70s in Malibu. It's
literally.
So exactly. So teen night, I can't remember the name of the place, but like teen night, everything's like extra smoky. There's just that like rubber smoke smell that you know, and like, but you can't drink, so everyone's just like loaded off sugar. And it's just in Jersey, it was like just grinding. That's the only thing people are doing. So I remember I was at this teen club with my friend Pete, and Pete was like a little more experienced than I was, and I was painfully shy, and all my advice, because I was raised by all women, so all my advice was like comically outdated from my grandmother. So I went up to this girl and I said, "You're beautiful. May I have this dance?" And she was
this is what you said?
Thoroughly confused.
Wow.
I mean, everyone around me getting fingered on ecstasy. Here I am, like, my lady, grant me the pleasure of a song.
You're like, this is a slow one. I figured you'd like that.
Yeah, so we start dancing, and
it worked.
It worked, I mean, it was dark. It was like I had on my best muscle tee, I was a little tan from the week, I was all right. And like I said, I have my athletic frame. Let's not like discount that. So we're dancing, and then Pete, so Pete's like just full on, just making out with his. I mean, it's a scene, man.
That's all teen night is.
Yes. So just and I didn't know how to get there, so I'm like trying to make my moves. I don't have any, but you know what I mean, like I'm hesitant, but I'm also trying to be assertive, which is like just an ugly combination. So then at some point I was like, I don't know how you do this, and Pete just goes, hang on, and then Pete goes, "Do you want to kiss my boy?" And she went, "Sure," like, I guess. And then next thing I know, we were making out, and I was like so excited. I was so happy. I was like, this finally had happened. At this point, I was 16 years old. Everyone at that point, half the high school was pregnant.
Wow. Yeah, Jersey moves fast, huh? Essex County.
People are on like their second kid. I never even kissed a girl. So I'm so excited that this finally happened. And then the next day in Wildwood, they have the tram car, which is like, was ever present.
Watch the tram car,
Watch
please.
the tram cars.
Kill me.
Right.
Yeah.
So like we're walking on the boardwalk, and the whole time we had avoided the tram car, but we finally get on it, and then this is the next night, and the girl who I had kissed is on the tram car with her friends, and they're a couple rows behind us, and they're just kind of laughing. I thought they were laughing at Pete, because like, I don't know, Pete, because we had tried to meet them that night, but they blew us off. So I thought they were, I was like, I just felt bad for Pete. And then like, I just heard one of the girls go, "You really think you're a hotshot up there?" And I was like, Pete, don't listen to him, Pete. Don't worry about it. You're fine. You're a good guy. Like, don't worry about it. And then they were like, "Not him, you," pointing at me. And I was like, "Me? I definitely don't think I'm a hot. I definitely don't think I'm a hotshot." And then the girl went, "Yeah, hotshot. She's 12 years old." And I went, "We got to get off the tram car."
No.
Yeah, it was.
How old were you? 16?
16. Scarred me. So
Damn.
then from then on, I was like, "What do I?" My first kiss, I was like, "I'm a criminal." It was awful. So I was really like, that just sunk me further into shame, and like, I was like, no, like women bring pain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, here I am, fingered as a pedophile, not nearly 18. So then I go to college, I meet this girl who I was like, "Oh, you're as strange. You see the world in this sort of odd way, the way I do." So I fell completely in love with her. Thought she was going to be, the one for me. 3 years go by. Going into my final year of college, we were going to drive. She was from Alaska, so she's flew.
Shit.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how far I had to
You're
go.
like, it must be the one. I would have never met her otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank God for college.
Some people get married, they meet someone in homeroom. I'm like, I had to wait for someone from Anchorage. Flies to Jersey. We're going to drive from Jersey to University of Miami, where we went to school together, where we met. And before the road trip, she was like, we should see other people. And but I was like, I know what we have. I need to fight for us. So I spent the entire length of our 20-hour road trip just pitching myself as her boyfriend. I had talking points that
do you know anything you were said in that trip?
I mean,
I
can tell you this: when you start making a list of what you bring to the table in a relationship, you start to see pretty quickly that you're like, maybe she's got a point. I mean, number 13 was I'm nice.
That's true though.
Yeah,
that is high quality.
Something, you know.
Yeah, I'm the person you want talking to the manager when you're mad.
Yeah,
I value that.
Here's the thing though: when you're younger, I'm nice doesn't go very far.
It doesn't.
You get to be older, and you're like, you appreciate nice. That really means something. When you're younger, that's like an empty word, you know.
Yeah, well, like how they always say, like women will quote settle on looks. It's all more about who the guy is. I'm like, no, it's just we get burned enough and deal with so many shitty guys that when you are just nice, you bump up. Like that's more what it is.
Yeah, you start to go looking at nice, and you're like, nice, pretty good actually.
Yeah, you have enough good-looking guys treat you bad. You're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
This one seems safe.
And us ugly shorties just wait it out. You know what I mean? And when all you hot talls are done with these other good-looking guys, we're here to clean up the mess because we've been nice the whole time.
It's called tall man privilege.
Yes, absolutely is.
100%. And I didn't see it when I was young. I look back, I'm like, tall men just get away with murder.
Absolutely.
Get away with everything. No offense, Mike. You're a nice guy.
Yeah, well, Mike has escaped,
Producer Mike. Shout out to Mike.
Yeah, the pitfalls of being tall and a sportsman himself.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then, so I pitch myself. You know, I'm nice. I'm going through all my talking points. She like, the time we get to Florida, she agrees to be in a relationship, but she wants to do an open relationship.
Wow, back in the day.
Yes.
This is new.
We were one of the first.
Yeah, one of the first open
one of the first failed experiments of an open relationship. So we're in this open relationship my whole first semester of college at University of Miami. And I mean, the open relationship, just picturing the other person's body and space, doing, like horrible things, All you do is think about the other person with somebody else. And
you're riding this out. You don't want to do it, but you're riding it out.
Technically, we're still together. And I'm like, whatever. I'm in. I really gambled. I was like, you're not going to find. In my head, I was like, go out there. Try to find someone better than me.
I mean, that is the attitude to have.
Yeah.
But I would say don't stick around during it.
No, it's horrible.
But
horrible.
It is a good attitude. I'm glad you felt that.
Yeah,
it's like, I'm great. She'll see it.
I went to school for architecture. I never worked harder in my life than that semester as like a distraction.
Yeah.
So but at some point I was like, I visited her in Los Angeles. She lived in Los Angeles at the time, Thanksgiving break. And something about that, like we were back together, but then once I left, I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, no.
It was having it and then having that ripped away again where I was like, I can't do this anymore. So we didn't talk for a couple weeks. And then over Christmas break, she called me, broke up with me. This is the second time she broke up with me.
Yeah.
And this one stuck. And I had never, I had been through things, but I never experienced real deal heartache.
It was your first love.
Yeah, first love, and I was out. I was out of the game. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm done.
Kicked my feet up.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, man. So I was just horribly depressed. Like all I did was think about her. Obviously, I started a journal. I wrote all kinds of bad poems. I was basically an 8th grade girl.
Wait, are you an anxious person? Do you mind if I ask that?
I am. I am an anxious person.
That's an anxious move. Is writing.
Yes.
It gets you out of your head.
Gets me out of my head, and it's a way for me to understand my thoughts. Mm-hmm. So it was like I started journaling. I wrote all this terrible poetry. Wrote a poem called "Empty House," about a house where love doesn't.
I've written poetry before.
Yeah, that's the worst part of a breakup. People think it's the pain or the longing. Ooh. It's thinking you're an important writer. That's the worst part of a breakup. So,
you're like, I'm gonna make something out of this heartache.
I'm like, I should go to Penguin with this. This is pretty good. Uh-huh. So then, I still can't get over it. Just months go by. I graduate college. We have no communication. All I do is think about her. So when I graduate, I was like, oh, I need to leave behind everything, everyone I know, in hopes that I'd also shed her. So I was like, I moved to Hawaii. That was my plan.
And she's living where? She's still in Miami?
She's in Los Angeles at the time.
Okay.
I skipped that part of the story. She graduated a year earlier than me. So she had moved out to Los Angeles with her best friend, Brooke, and my best friend, Jafet, who was my roommate all through college. Okay. So she's in Los Angeles. I'm now in Hawaii. We probably haven't spoken for 6-8 months. But that's the thing. You don't really you change the location, but they come with you. Doesn't matter where you go.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really.
I was like, you moved, and she already was across the country.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You kind of moved closer to her, actually. I don't know if you know flights, but LA to Hawaii.
Look, I mean, I have public
like
school
3 hours.
Jersey education. I didn't know where Hawaii was. I thought it was in the corner because that's where they put it on a map.
I just love the idea. You're like, I'm gonna go to Hawaii, get away from this woman, and they're like, okay, so to get to Hawaii, you have a stop in Los Angeles.
I did. Yeah. One of the saddest. Someone's coming in. Do you want to get that? They can come in.
Oh, shit.
I never care.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Is it? It's not Jared, is it?
Maybe it's like a Mormon.
Oh,
Could
trash?
be a
okay.
parishioner.
Maybe. Damn, layover in LA.
Yes, I know. I remember sleeping in the LA airport Halloween, but we had no communication. That was just
and
to get
is there
to
cell phones at
Hawaii.
this time? Not really.
They had just kind of come out.
Not really texting, though.
But not really texting.
So there's
it took
not this
forever.
constant,
No, there's not constant communication.
Which you think would make all this easier.
You'd think it would, but it almost makes it harder because like the cutting someone off is really what works to get over someone. So like, to have constant communication is harder to get over them because they're right there. They're so accessible to you. But with like a T9, you're like, I don't even know how to figure that out.
T9 word, baby.
Yeah, man. So then, I go to Hawaii. I knew nobody there. I end up living, I got an apartment on Craigslist. I live with this like judgmental gay Korean guy and his cat, and there's a whole joke about that.
So when you fully went there, no job, nothing.
No job, nothing. Never been to Hawaii. Completely sight unseen. And
just
also
one bag.
One bag. I had some suits for job interviews because but that was really it. I had
corporate America, Hawaii.
Well, I graduated. Yeah, we didn't know that.
They're like wool suits from Jersey.
Yes, exactly. and it was so funny because the only people you see in suits in Hawaii are Japanese businessmen and me. And everybody else just wears Hawaiian shirts. It's very much a reality over there. So, yeah, I had my suits. I had my couple job interviews lined up for architecture. I didn't get a job with any of them. I got some apartment on Craigslist. I knew nobody there. I was living, Hawaii, where everyone goes to honeymoon. Also, not great for a breakup. So, yes.
Weirdly, this would be a time to go to Alaska.
Yeah, actually, yeah. No, I couldn't.
Be by yourself in the ice.
Back to where it all started. I could never. Jesus. I actually looked at Hawaii as like their rival. I kind of thought I was doing like a cool thing. So I'm in Hawaii. Know nobody there. I start working a job as an environmental canvasser. I work with all these like super hippies, like real hippies. They lived in the woods in Hawaii. And a month into my Craigslist stay at my apartment, I got kicked out of that apartment because, not to my own horn, but I did bring 2 girls back that I met on the beach, and my very judgmental gay Korean roommate judged the hell out of me for that.
Here's the thing. What part of him do you think judged it the most?
What do you mean?
Like his ethnicity, his sexuality? What?
They went hand in hand.
Is
It's
this both?
50% gay judgment, 50% Korean judgment, and they combined for a formidable bit of judgment.
Yeah.
So he was like, you have 1 week to get out of the apartment. So I had nowhere to go. He was the only person I knew, or my hippie coworkers. So, and he was mad because I brought strangers back to the apartment. That's what his thing was.
I mean,
yeah.
That's also like rude. I feel like that's so rude to say to a man that brings a woman home. Almost like you couldn't handle if she tried to take stuff or something.
I'll tell you what actually happened. I walked in masturbating the week before. That's what happened. And I didn't handle it right. Looking back, this is what big regret in my life is that I didn't maturely handle this. So,
which also I'm like, this has never happened in college. This has never happened to. I feel like most men, does this not happen at some point?
Well, college, you have a system of a sock on the door.
Something.
Or like, college is more private. You're doing it in the communal showers.
Yeah.
Like, you're pretty good about it.
Private in the communal showers.
Yeah. But for this guy, so you had to get to the bathroom. It was only through his master bedroom.
Railroad.
So,
apartment.
yes.
Yeah.
So I thought he was gone. I just walked in, and all of a sudden the sheets ruffled, and he went, "Get out of here!" And this is not the right thing. I did, and to this day, I do apologize to him about this. And if anyone is listening or remotely knows him, because I have told this story before, and I have gotten an email from someone who's like, "I actually know the guy you're talking about."
Wow. You should watch Brain Noise now on YouTube.
May 26th. So anyway, so I said, "That's cool, man. I'm doing the same thing in my room all the time, just to different stuff."
Oh, God.
And he did not think that was hilarious. So
was
that's
there even like porn playing?
No, it was just imagination in the sheets. You know, he went to wherever he was going to. So so a week went by. That was obviously that was like when they got OJ on the trophy charges. You know what I mean? But really, it's the double murder, pal.
Yeah.
So he's already angry about that. I have nowhere to go. So the only people I know are my hippie coworkers who live in the woods. So I ended up moving to the woods with them. And I slept in a sleeping bag on the side of a mountain for 2 months in Hawaii. I was, just graduated college degree in architecture. 5 years I studied buildings. Couldn't find one to live inside. Yeah. The Anthony DeVito story. And I had nowhere to shower. I got kicked off public transportation for my stench. Yeah, there was people eating warm tuna fish next to me like, you stink. It was low, man.
Yeah, people that roast pigs, fires, just like,
yeah,
too much.
They kicked me off a bus in the middle of Hawaii. They literally went, this guy's got to go. So it was like the lowest I had ever been. I was completely homeless because a girl broke my heart. But the woods was weirdly what worked. Because I had to be present. There was like danger everywhere. There were wild boars all over the campgrounds. The city became my apartment. I started showering at the gym. I'd brush my teeth in a Starbucks. I used to take naps in hotel lobbies. I used to fake that I was waiting on a friend.
Good move.
Then I got cast in the show Lost as an extra.
You seriously?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I watched that show.
Yeah. They film in Diamond Head Beach in Hawaii. And I was doing my spiel, this casting director, I was like, do you have a minute for the environment? This lady goes, are you Arabic? I said, no. And then she said, how would you like to be in a TV show? And I was like,
how would you like to be Arabic?
I was like, this is how Hollywood works, I guess. And the other thing with that, this is another little tidbit with that, is that, like for shoots, they'll have a car pick you up because like they want to make sure you get there on time.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a physical address. So I just wrote the Alamo Woods.
Did they show up?
Yeah, I just emerged from the woods entrance and I walked into this black tinted Suburban. They took me to set and then another thing that happened, and this is all true, you can go to season 3, I think it's episode 8. I play Iraqi soldier number 6. One of the actors with a speaking role had missed his flight from Los Angeles, and they needed someone to fill the role, and everybody else on set were just Hawaiian guys. I actually looked the part, so the director...
You have a line in the show?
I don't, and this is why. Because the director came up to me and he said, do you have any acting experience? And I said, no, but I read Michael Caine's book on film acting. And he said, well, just go with a Hawaiian guy. And he walked away.
Wow.
But at this point, Adrian and I had not spoken for about a year. And I was kind of completely over her. And then I got a phone call. It was an LA area code. I picked up the phone. It was her. We talked for about an hour. Soon we were talking every day. And then I woke up one day, sleeping bag covered in centipedes. Realized I was living how people win money on Fear Factor.
Yeah.
And I decided to move back to Jersey. But before that, I would stop in Los Angeles, see her. I kind of wanted to see for myself if I was over her. So
back up on the initial phone call?
Yes.
What is said in the initial phone call?
Is
she like, I miss you, I want you back?
No, she had done that before, and I got very angry at that because I was like, don't say this if you don't mean it.
Well, yeah.
This was more just like friendly, like catch up kind of thing. And I was in
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Right, Mike?
And I was in a place where I could just talk to her. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I had like lived this whole life in a year that she wasn't privy to, that couldn't have happened if I hadn't broken up with her. So I almost like in a weird way like was like thankful, strangely. So we were just talking, and it was like the vibe was like a little bit different because I was in a different place. I wasn't as like, I didn't put her as much on a pedestal as I had before.
Yeah.
I was like, honestly, I was like, oh, this was a girl in my life rather than like, this will be the one for me. So I move, go to Los Angeles. I see her. We're just back. That whole weekend, we're in love all over again. And I go back to Jersey. The plan was to just kind of be there for a couple weeks, pack all my shit, move to Los Angeles.
Move to LA.
Yeah.
Wow.
So When I get back to Jersey, we hadn't spoken for about a week, and then I'm driving in the Lincoln Tunnel. I get a phone call from her. I pick up. She's sobbing, and you just kind of you have a feeling.
Wait, is this you're on your way to the airport through the Lincoln Tunnel?
No, I'm just on my way to meet
thank
friends.
God. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Jeez.
So yeah, she's sobbing. She cries for like about a minute. I'm like, I can't believe you're doing this to me again. And then she goes, I'm so sorry. I started seeing Jafet, and that's the last we've ever spoken to her. Yeah. And the whole
really?
Yeah.
Started seeing him from what point? Like while you're in Hawaii, you was seeing him?
No. In that, when I moved back to Jersey, they started dating. But they're married. They have kids. So
that's even more crazy.
Yeah. So it was like it, worked out. And now I'm here.
The end.
Yeah. And now I'm on Shooter's Gotta Shoot. Nah, but it all worked out.
Look at God. Huh?
Yeah. But
damn.
yeah. So that's that story.
I don't even know what to say.
There's a lot in there. I know.
Part of me is kind of like, what took her so long to get with that guy then?
Well,
he was in LA that whole time.
Well, we had gone through college all together.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they had always, they would always kind of be flirting, and I would always go, no, you're being crazy. You know what I mean? But I would have nightmares about it, like once every 6 months, and I just wouldn't tell anyone about it. And then one time we were at a movie theater, and I did see her play with the buttons on his shirt a little bit, and I thought, that's kind of weird. You know?
I was going to say, my brain would immediately think of like every interaction that was right in front of my face.
Oh, totally.
That I either like kind of ignored or brushed off.
Well, that was the thing. I had thought about them for so long, and I had like shoved so many nightmares out of my head. And it was kind of nice to have your suspicions validated to some degree.
Yeah.
Where I was like, all right, you weren't totally off in thinking that the whole time. And then when I learned years later that like it actually worked out for them, I was like, well, that's great, I was, I mean, look, I'm not saying like that had a tremendous effect on me and still does to this day.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I'm not just like brushing that off. Like that made me lose faith in people for years.
Yeah, or also like it keeps you in that anxiety spiral.
Yeah.
Of you're just like, I should be worried about everything because it was right.
Because it's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even in like, I've been with my fiance now for almost 10 years. But even with that, there are moments where I'm like, I always think she's leaving. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of like her reassuring me that she's not, just because it's like, yeah, that wound's never gonna heal. You just have that now, and you do your best to kind of live with it and like talk yourself down. But in those moments, like, that's right there, and it'll always be there.
Yeah, someone who's not anxious, when I get that gut feeling, I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I can't ignore it. Yeah. Because I don't get them ever. Right. I rarely get them. I'm so logic. And then all of a sudden I'll just be like, this feels terrible. And I'll try to logically explain it, and I'm just like, you can't.
Well, see, that's the problem too afterwards, because like that was probably the first time I think my anxiety was proven to be true. So now after that, I have all these false positives because it has a real example to draw from. Whereas like now I'm like, and that'll happen next, and then it doesn't. But it's like, it's hard to discern what the real feeling is and what isn't.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm shocked you feel that way with Julia, because I know Julia.
Yeah.
And I think I might get a call from Julia after this. Of like, what the fuck you doing hanging out with Anthony for an hour?
Of course.
Like,
that's what I love about her.
In a room in some building.
I love that
with
Julia.
Some guy named Mike.
I love that Julia goes through my phone. I love that she probably has spyware set up on my email account. That's like a real, for someone like me who's been through what they've been through, that's such a sign of love, and like that, like she will never do anything. Like there was one.
Or she's worried about other people. You're like, wow, she really cares for me.
Exactly.
And it also weirdly boosts your self-esteem.
100%.
I am hot shit.
There was one day.
I am so hot.
I walked into Julia's room, and this was early on in us dating, and she had my sweatshirt with pillows inside of it, and I think anybody else would have ran for the door, but I was like, oh my God, this is how much she cares about me. I'm gone, and she still needs a little bit of me here. Last relationship, when I was gone, she put a new guy there, so I was like, oh, I love you. Obviously, amongst all the other reasons why I love her, but that security is something that's like very important to me, considering what I've been through. Yeah, but I'm not saying like it was the right thing, and I'm not saying, you know what I mean. Like, look, I was a young 20-year-old in a relationship. You know what I mean. I said and did things that I'm not proud of either. I think I can remember when Adrian had a new haircut, and I was like, I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like, that's not great.
Yeah, no, not great. But I still would say probably not as bad.
Yeah, of course. But I just don't want to just paint myself completely as a hero. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
Or like, I mean, your example, it's like you were dating and young, but it does remind me of like when people are married, have kids, all this stuff, they cheat, and everyone's always like, man, they just threw away this whole life, or they ruined their kid's life.
Right,
and like,
right.
you know, how could they do that to their family, right? But the thing is, I've had that thought too of like, well, when who they cheat with, they are with.
Yeah.
And then stay with the rest of their life. You're just like, well, was it the right call? Now it feels like it was the right call.
Totally.
Now it's like, well, actually, they really loved the other person.
Right. The Sun-Yi argument. I know. No, I'm totally kidding. There's a lot more going on there. I just made it.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Well, happy you're here. Happy you're back.
Yeah, man. No.
Feeling good.
Good
Guys,
to be
follow.
in your company.
Make sure you guys follow Anthony at comedian Anthony DeVito and check out his YouTube channel. Just look up DeVito Anthony. So I have a man's opinion question for you. We always do this segment on the show, and we have a nice male guest. Is getting your opinion the one time we really want it, okay?
Sure.
So my man's opinion question for you is, should you tell someone if they're being cheated on?
Oh, like if you have a friend.
If you find out someone is being cheated on, let's keep it vague. Like that, do you tell that person?
Yeah, definitely.
1,000%?
Yeah, yes, 1,000%. Yeah, just because otherwise it's like, you know, what kind of friend are you? They got to know. Yeah,
but I think a lot of people just don't want to be the reason.
Sure. Well, I think you need hard evidence. You know what I mean?
True.
I think if like, because I have been in a situation where I had an inkling with a friend, but it was like, I can't say anything unless like I really have hard evidence. Otherwise, like I might be spooking you for no reason and breaking trust for no reason. So you need to be in the room when they're exchanging fluids. You need to be there.
That much, really?
No, but you need like real, like you see them kissing, you see them holding hands. Like you need to see something where you go, oh, I have definitive proof that they're cheating. And if I withhold this information from my friend, I'm being a bad friend, because they need to know. You might tell them and they might go, yeah, that's our relationship. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, nowadays, yeah.
Yeah, we live in Bushwick.
Or back in the day, you were in an open thing.
Sure.
So, you know,
oh, God.
it's been around more than we
much
thought.
Against my will. That was a nightmare.
Okay, what about this?
Yes.
Here's a scenario. You don't see any physical things happening.
Sure.
You're with your friend, and they say something of like, oh, so-and-so's out of town. You're like, I saw them hanging out with someone.
Oh, I see.
At a location. So you don't have proof of physical, but you have proof of the lie.
Yeah, I think so. Because
Same thing. You gotta say something.
You gotta say something, because like, I mean, you saw something, you know, like, and you don't have to like make an insinuation about it. You just go, oh, that's weird. I actually just saw them at the tennis court. You know, there they were playing, you know, doubles with a strapping. It looked like a New York Knick to me. I think so. Yeah.
What about this?
Yeah.
Someone tells you they saw them kissing someone else. Do you relay that to the friend?
Oh,
because then you're in this like.
A friend relays this to me.
Yeah.
I see. So then I confront. Yeah, I confront Julia.
Pass it along.
Yeah. Julia's a tricky one though.
No. Wait. Oh. Sorry. So you have. Let's say you have. Let's just use Mike's name as an example.
Sure.
You have a friend, Mike.
Yeah.
A different friend.
I do have a friend. I do have a friend, Mike. You can just say Mike.
You got Mike here. Lovely Mike.
Yeah.
You have a different friend.
Yes.
Says to you, I saw Mike's girl.
Okay.
Making out with somebody.
I see.
You tell Mike.
Oh, I see. That's tricky. I don't think so. I think it's incumbent upon the person who saw the thing. You're going to make me the messenger, because then I'm going to go, well, I heard from Erica that this happened. You got to go right to the source. There's nothing to do with me.
Yeah. But it would still eat at me. If I told that person, like, you got to tell them, and they don't.
I'll say this. I'll go, look, I'm going to check back in with you. I'll give you 3 days. I'm going to check back in with you in 3 days.
Fair.
If you haven't said anything in 3 days, I'll give you the weekend. I'll give you the weekend and Monday. And if you haven't said anything within those 3 days, I am going to go to them and say they need to talk to you. But I'll give you the weekend.
Yeah.
And take Monday. Mondays are hard.
Let's go. Give me Monday off. It doesn't count.
No, yeah.
It doesn't count in business days.
It can't. You get a long weekend with that.
God, that reminds me of middle school. It's like, you can't break up with them on a Friday.
Oh, sure.
Friday.
Yeah.
And then someone else is like, but then they have the weekend to get over it.
Right.
It's like, you're ruining the weekend. Ruin the week. No one cares about the school week. Shit. Okay. All right. We have to wrap this up soon.
Okay.
I want to do one snippet from a book we have. It's called Never Chase Men Again by Bruce Bryans. 38 dating secrets to get the guy, keep him interested, and prevent dead-end relationships.
It's always remarkable when they land on these numbers. You know what I mean? Like
38.
Yeah.
38 reasons.
So ridiculous.
All right. So we have chapter 11 here. Which clip? Clip 1. Chapter 11, do not confuse a great guy with the right guy.
Okay.
Number 11. Do not confuse a great guy with the right guy. A man might be an irresistible catch, and yet he may still not be ready or willing to give you the commitment you want.
Terrifying, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just extra hard trying to be so calm where you're like, well, I'm scared out of my mind now.
Yeah, it's also a little like scared straight. It's like, I'm going to tell you how it is.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you how it is with men.
Yeah, first of all, I don't like this Bruce. And I don't even trust that he's real. He sounds like a TikTok robot.
He's a real man.
Yeah, I doubt it.
He's a real man. He's got a lot of profitable books, let me tell you. Oh, a lot.
Bruce, what is it?
Bruce Bryant.
Bruce Bryant. Well, sounds too many B's. Sounds like a fake name to me. Anyway, yeah, you can go ahead, Mike.
Appraise the men you date based on both their inner qualities and the compatibility of your commitment goals. Many women make the mistake of making dating all about trying to find Mr. Right. This is the idealized version of what they believe is their Prince Charming. The flawed thinking in this approach to dating is that you place so much importance on the rightness of the men you date, you end up not paying attention to the rightness of the relationship. You may actually find yourself in a situation in which you found the greatest guy in the world, but he's just not on the same page with you in terms of commitment. He may be handsome, loyal, kind, masculine, ambitious, and interested in you, while at the same time be unable
No, you can keep it going.
or unwilling to take things to the next level.
I don't know. Like, I mean, it's just like.
And when I say taking things to the next level, I'm referring to whether or not he's taking action to make you his girlfriend, or if you've been dating for years now, his wife. This sort of thing happens more often than you'd believe, as women find themselves unable to leave a stagnant relationship simply because the guy they're with is Mr. McDreamy. The right man won't just possess the kind of qualities you find attractive in an ideal mate. He'll also be in a place to cultivate the kind of relationship you're ultimately after. In short, Mr. Right is also Mr. Commitment Compatible.
So So he's saying that guy could be cool, but the relationship isn't right.
Yeah, I think
maybe translate to
from
Bruce
personal
Freak a little
experience
bit.
and also many female friends' experience.
Please, go ahead.
A lot of times there's this thing where like this person is a great person.
Gotcha.
And they're not at all being a shitty person to you.
Right.
And it's that whole thing of like, oh, I'm just not ready, or commitment problems they might have.
Yeah,
and he's basically being like, no. You both can be true.
Yeah.
Of he is a great guy.
Sure.
And not the right person for you.
Right.
Or just essentially not into you.
Right.
Now, you're a nice guy.
Sure.
That I feel like you're the type, like, if you try to do a casual thing,
yes,
this would be the other woman on the other end. She'd be like, he's so nice. He's so wonderful.
Yes.
He made me breakfast in the morning.
Sure.
And it's like, well, he's telling you he's not going to commit to you, though, regardless.
Oh.
And it's like, it's almost like we take certain things as, like, points in our head.
Like these, like the breakfast, the things I'm doing, you're racking up the nice guy points.
Yeah. It's like, well, he wouldn't have made me breakfast.
I see.
If he didn't like me and want to be with me. And it's like, he could like you.
I
treat
see.
you nicely.
Yes.
Is what I took from the chapter. I don't know if you, I guess.
I was more distracted by Bruce's stupid voice, but no. Hearing you say it, I understand what you're saying, because you definitely have that happen where you go like, oh, you do this, like, you show up to my mother's wake. Not a great example.
But really, that could be something.
Right.
Of someone who's just like, I just felt bad, and I was just trying to do the right thing and be nice.
And then you go, oh, this means like, that we're dating.
Yes.
For sure.
And a nice guy like he was like, well, what am I going to be, a dick? And be like, your mom died?
Exactly.
Good luck.
I know, and that's the hard thing. And you can't say that because that's crazy.
Right.
If you go, look, I'm just here. We're not boyfriend and girlfriend, but I'm here because I'm a decent person. You can't, and obviously people, because it's so early in a relationship, it's all, you're so excited and you're so worried. That's why like every text in a relationship is like, you pass around to 9 different friends to be like, what is this? What does the shoe emoji mean? Does it mean he wants to go for a walk? Does it mean I'm Cinderella? There's so many things. So I get the point of that. I'm trying to think if I've done that by accident. I was only single for a little bit between my last girlfriend and Julia right now. And I think in that time I tried to be a little casual. And I think there was one girl where I mistakenly led on, but I didn't know I was doing that, like, and I got her point of view, and I also was like, oh, I didn't, you know what I mean? I was just not being an asshole, you know?
It literally, that is, I feel like what it's saying. And then on top of that, with like this quote, great guy, a lot of times for women, there'll be like these extra things of almost like checklist things.
Right.
So it's like, okay, it could be like you're Jewish and they're Jewish.
Uh-huh.
Or it could just be like, oh, and he has a really great job.
Yeah.
You know, like there's all these other things that like, it has nothing to do with how he treats you.
Right.
But it like puts stock in it that you're like, well, it would be worth waiting for or holding on to.
Yeah, they're like draft picks.
Yeah.
It's like an investment where you're just like, look, man, he can't shoot right now, but like this guy's a grade 3-and-D guy, you know? And like he could be really something one day.
Do you ever feel like this has been done to you?
In terms of like
you had somebody like, they're a great person, not the right person for me, or in that weird commitment gray area.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was probably a lot with Adrian, where she was like, I love you for who you are, but I'm not ready to be with you just yet. And I think, so to some degree that, and I think early on with Julia a little bit, because she was so much younger than when we started dating. I was 30, she was 22. So I think for her, she was like, I love you. You're this, wonderful person. But at the same time, I'm 22 years old and I'm freaking out right now. Yeah. Which I understood. So I was more, I think the experience I had, and I think knowing how strongly I felt about Julia right away scared me. And I also understood that I was like, you're 22. Like, if you can't do this right now, that's very okay. Yeah. But she was pretty sure. And like, obviously wavered back and forth, and like we broke up a couple times. Don't ask her that. She said we didn't. but
she'll show up.
Yeah. In 5 seconds. Somehow she'll be here with a knife and face mask for everybody. Oh yeah. Real dichotomy of a person she is. Yeah. I think I've probably had that done to me, but I think it was earlier on in my life. Whereas I think now it would be a little different. I mean, now obviously I'm 39, but I think as you go from your 20s to 30s, that part changes because what you're looking for changes with most people, not everybody.
And especially like as you're dating with every new person, there is a period of like giving the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. Not letting your anxiety get to you. Yes. Like kind of just being like, let me just sit in this a while. Yeah. But it's like I feel like once it's been 2 months.
2 months, then you're like asking questions.
Is anything
moving along?
Growing? Are they doing anything extra? Yeah. Or like, I don't know. What would you say? How long do you think most guys it takes till they just go, oh yeah, this is my girlfriend?
It depends on how you feel about the other person, in my experience. Like, with Julia, I remember we were like trying to be pretty casual because she was so young, because I had just gotten out of a relationship. And then there was one weekend where I was going on the road, and I think she was doing a spot at Caroline's, and Tommy Pope was there. Great friend of mine. But Tommy Pope, a good-looking guy. You know what I mean? Good-looking guy.
Handsome man.
Yeah. And they were really getting along, and I was like, and I think she I think we had talked about being exclusive, but after that I was like, hey, we're exclusive, because I can't have that whole road weekend. I was like, oh, she's with Tommy now. And I was like, I don't want that. But I think if I didn't feel that strongly about her, I would have been cooler about it. But with her, for whatever reason, it's like, man, I just felt I was like in love with her from the get-go. Yeah. So I was like, oh no, we just need to be boyfriend and girlfriend and go from there, kind of thing.
It's an instinctive like territory thing.
Yeah, a little bit of territory, and I just think depends on your strength of the person, and just kind of going like, all right, I might get hurt by going in this hard, but I'll just trust it's kind of nice to know like, hey man, I'm not that cynical yet. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where I'm like not so cerebral that I still believe in like this could be a thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. Also depends how handsome the Tommy Pope is.
Sure. Yeah. Well, that definitely plays a factor. Yeah. Tommy's like charismatic, handsome, and like, and we're very, Tommy and I are close, but at the same time, like, it was like, I could see, like, I could see that being like, if I didn't know, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I get it.
Now I'm like disparaging Tommy, I feel like too much.
No. Nice guy.
He's great.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, of course.
The show. Guys, follow Anthony at comedian Anthony DeVito. Check out a special on YouTube right now called Brain Noise, and look him up. Anthony DeVito. Subscribe to his channel. And as always, guys, you can follow us at Shooters Gotta Shoot Pod. I'm at Sparica with 2 A's. And if you want to stay tuned for a Patreon preview, that's coming up next. So thank you, Anthony, again.
Yeah, for sure.
And thank you all for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
See you next week. I got two little fun updates in relation to the comedian. One was him and his ex went to Governor's Island together for the day. Like, took the ferry to the island. It's this little island off the southern tip of the Manhattan, which, oh, hilarious. That's where I live. I live right by the ferry that goes there. Did I get taken to Governor's Island? No, I did not. Like, just have a romantic ferry ride with your ex to Governor's Island. And then I was like, what the fuck do you even do on this island, right? So I was like, let me Google it. I was like, things to do on Governor's Island. First thing that pops up, it's like, there's an orchard. I'm like, an orchard? We're going to Governor's Island with our ex for an orchard? This is some date shit. What is it, the fall? Y'all picking apples? What the fuck? What? Because guess what? Not much to do there. You know what you could do there on an island with really nothing to do? You can have sex with your ex. If you want to hear the rest of this episode, join our Patreon, which is patreon.com/shootersgottashoot. You'll get over 100 extra episodes, all the behind the scenes. You'll get in on the chat of everyone discussing everything. It's some hot shit over there, okay? So just join. It's $5 a month. It's like if you bought me a coffee every month. And we appreciate the support of the show. Helps us pay our studio now that we're doing video, all right? So patreon.com/shootersgottashoot. Hope to see you there.